All right. It is a cloudy. It's starting to get a little bit foggy out. And it seems like it's starting to drizzle. So I got the microphone outside, as you can hear. There's some birds out there. Hashtag Delphi. Hashtag kolhburger. I think things with kolhburger are coming along. There's a lot of people now upset that they want to tear down the house before the court date. And the only thing I can think of is they probably went through that house with a fine tooth comb. And it's possible they have evidence that points directly to him, which we, on this channel, we always thought it was him or maybe possible help. We're determining if they have him. Now it's a game of he's going to have to play the game. And that game would be if there was anybody else involved, he would have to cut a deal. Possibly take the death sentence off the table. Possibly, if it's big enough, as some people think, possibly lower his time. We don't know, right? But now he's got to play the game of cat and mouse. And I think Richard Allen, if it is him, he probably will do the same. But I'm not 100% guaranteed that Richard Allen is that guy. Not unless I see more closer footage of Richard Allen. I got a couple people couple irons in the fire, but I think Delphi. I think they're hot on it. They're close. The whole thing of this Odin thing. Maybe it was some kind of a secret society, but the fact is, and even if it was staged to look like it, that tells you of the mental stability of Richard Allen or whoever the killers were to make it look like it was something else. That would point towards maybe they got a beef with them people. We don't know. The case is being dove back into where the families are being looked at and the maybe the friends around the families and the whole thing going on there. Very interesting. Now, Delphi, we are seeing deceptions through some of them podcasters. Some say obstruction of justice, some say a lot, but I don't know. We'll continue to do what we do here. We're old fashioned here, man. We connect dots. You know, a pedo ring, very possibly, folks. Drugs, a club, a pedo club, or whatever, very possible. I'm not taking nothing off of the table. And I think each of these people that Delphi, Indiana picks up, I do believe that they will, they'll all cut deals and turn people in possibly. Then again, it could have been Richard Allen alone. If given enough time. I don't think so. But could one man have done that? Yes, if he had enough time. But that's the point. That's my big thing. How did these guys know they would have time to do something like that? How did they know they weren't there by themselves? How did they know they weren't with a family members there? And they just took a different trail and the parents were walking around her. You know, this could have been strategy, it could have been someone that staged it and knew the girls would be there. Someone using the account, same as Keegan Klein. All right, the temperature is dropping out here now. I can see my breath, and it is like starting to sleet out. So I'm going to end this video. My condolences to all the families. And I'm going to bring this mic inside before it gets all rained on. Let me turn that mic down. Hey, Kel, how you doing? I hope you're having a great Sunday. God bless. Let me check the comments. Still need to let the jury do a walkthrough. Not a good idea. No, we said that. I also was one of them people that did a video saying they can't touch the house. But there is somebody that owns the house. So it's a catch-22. But do I think the jury should go through the house? Yeah, it would be a good idea. Right? But I imagine they had people go in there, document everything, video everything. They probably have enough evidence, Kel, I'm thinking, where they're just going to say we're destroying the house. And, here's the thing, kolhburger. You're going to play the game, or you'll probably sit on the hot seat. Right? I'm thinking they got enough on them. If they didn't, well, I don't think they'd be tearing down the house. I mean, everybody has their own opinion, and everybody has the right to think whatever. But I think probably they have stuff that we don't even know about. Records, probably a week, a month before the murders, records after the murders. You're gonna have to show me that it ain't him, right? They have to prove it. Same thing with Delphi. I'm even saying, prove to me that that's Richard Allen. That's Bridge Guy. Because if everybody's thinking the same thing, that there was more people involved in Idaho or Delphi, then it's possible Richard Allen was there, but he's not Bridge Guy. It's possible he was there, he's Bridge Guy, but didn't do the murders. A lot of stuff. It's a beautiful day, my friend. Well, it's cloudy here, and now the temp has dropped, Kel. And now it's starting to drizzle and sleet. So I was outside having a cigarette, but I could see my breath. So the temp's dropping. But it might be a beautiful day where you are. It might be a beautiful day. You're talking about the cases coming along. Delphi's on its way into the courtroom soon. And thank God. Right? Everybody wants this over with. We'll have to see. I could be wrong. Right? With the house thing. But I'm thinking, I don't know. If it's a private owner, they might turn the house back over. Should they let the jury go through it? Well, they probably should, but do they have the jury picked? You got the jury picked. Get your butts in there. As soon as they're done, tear it down. Right? If not, well then if the college wants it tore down so bad, then pay the owner that owns it, and then you own it, and then you tear it down. I mean, but document everything before you tear it down. And the only reason I think that they're going to tear it down is they got everything they need. They're ready for court, just like Delphi was. Delphi was ready for court. Maybe they should let those original lawyers come back and let the case start in January. Just got over this or over with. Let the families have some peace. Yeah, get the Delphi thing going and the kolhburger case going. Right? I think reality is hitting people now. A lot of people I've seen on YouTube were screaming, it's not him, it's not him. But all the signs, and I imagine the data, I imagine they got data showing that he was stalking them. There's already proof that he was plugged into the Wi-Fi. Therefore, he very well, if they had a security system, well, we don't know how smart he was. Computer savvy, I mean. He could have shut down the cameras. Somebody, he could have had help. Here's the thing: if they do have kolhburger and it's a dead nut case, you should. If there was anybody involved, you best play the game, kolhburger, because I think you're gonna fry, just like Green Mile, probably. I'm just. I mean, it's rude. I shouldn't be saying that, but uh, you might be able to take that death thing off of the table, right? If they 100% they have them, that's a dead nut case. It's here's it. Here it is, and here's all the evidence, and here's all the data that he was stalking the girls, right? Here's the evidence that he was in that frame of mind because he was asking on Reddit and everywhere else to talk to people that were nut jobs that committed murder and did crimes that were bad. So he fit this description. Here's the thing, though: was it a ring? How big? Did other people know? I'm really stuck on Celt is the 8 hour, distance before anybody called the police, or what was it, 7 hours or whatever, before anybody called the police. That's very fishy too. The reports of someone with bushy eyebrows. He does have bushy eyebrows, but so do a lot of other people. So did food truck guy that got in an argument with one of the girls. Heck, if anybody's got giant bushy eyebrows, it's JLR. You know, I mean, bushy eyebrows. We're lining everybody up. Oh yeah, those surviving roommates aren't doing the case any favor. No, Celt. 8 hours went by. They called friends instead. And that was fishy. I give them. I give them this much. They might have been in shock. They might have been in shock, but not 8 hours. Right? Not 8 hours. And now I hear YouTubers saying, "Well, she just wanted to go back to bed, so she went back to bed." You you hear you hear crazy, crazy. Hold on a minute. I got somebody coming across camera trailer full of all kinds of material. All right, so him shutting the phone off, shutting the phone back on, shutting the phone off. DNA there. Video of him all over the place, even neighbors' houses. Cameras, I mean, stoplight cameras. If he wasn't the murderer, then he was the cleanup guy. Yeah, something. I think they got him on something, and that explains why they want to tear the house down because they got enough evidence. And here's the thing: like I keep saying, he's going to have to play that game now. You cannot now. I don't know if they have the death penalty, but I'm sure they're going to push for the death penalty if it isn't. And if there was anybody else involved, even the roommate, anybody, well, now that's his perfect time to make a deal, right? He'll talk, take the death penalty off, uh, and we might see that with Richard Allen. Now. We don't know. He might have already cut a deal. That's why they moved him. Like I said, it would be nice to see the data from the kolhburger case of the Reddit accounts of him doing his experiments and asking people to contact him. I would love to see the data trail on that, what countries, how big was communicating with, uh, how big was these, was this a secret thing that they did or whatever. Dude, I'm amazed. Hasn't broke down. No, I'm not 100% on Richard. He might have been there, right? It'll show in the evidence. If they found anything of the girls at his house, then he was there. But he might have had help. So, I mean, it can go both ways. That house must have smelled like blood. The dog must have barked. No way that noise sounded like a regular occurrence. No, I don't think so. Here's the thing. I know I'm going to say this, and I probably shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it anyways. If she was able to see who it was, the roommate, if she was able to see the bushy eyebrows, then she knows who it is. Right? If whoever stated, well, all I seen was somebody walk past and was on his way downstairs or whatever, or out the back door or whatever. If she was close enough to see bushy eyebrows, then there must have been enough light to see his face. Now, whether he was wearing some kind of a kill mask or a black mask or whatever, I don't know. But she would have been able to tell, did the guy have a giant nose? Was he wearing a baseball cap? Whatever it may be. But here's the thing is I don't understand. Maybe she knew him and she didn't want to call the police. Maybe drugs were involved and she knew who it was and was scared to say anything. But there could be a mighty rage behind that little troll. Yeah, could have been. I really don't know, Kel. I'm leaning towards a lot of options. He might have been paid, and that's the only reason he did it, because he was paid, possibly by someone else that was using that account, or he wanted to set somebody up, and him himself got caught. Does that make sense, Kel? Meaning, he was using the account. Keegan Klein knew it, because Keegan Klein was the only one that had that account and the password, and the only one that would have been able to let anyone else use that account. So Richard Allen might have seen that he was talking to him or whatever, and figured, well, heck, Keegan Klein's part of it. Might have tried to set the other one up. We don't know. It'll all come out in court unless they have proof, like they're saying, that he was there and he had evidence and phones at his house. Then he was there, but I'm not 100% sure that he's on the bridge. I need closer footage, which I think we'll see. And I think the close footage is edited out. Now, in the Delphi case, I could have swore when that case first broke, they said there was 39 minutes of recording, but only so much video. Right? Good afternoon, Mrs. ATS News. How is your day going? How is your husband doing? It's his day off. Hopefully he's spending time with his great wife and child. Now let me get back to the case. Where was I? It's going well, good. If I said anything in my past videos to upset any of you ladies, forgive me. Now, I think I don't know. I think maybe something's up with Richard Allen. That's why they moved him. They are doing construction, but they could have moved him in a lot better place or a closer place. We really don't know. Maybe all this talk behind closed doors was actually Richard Allen, attorneys that were possibly working on cutting a deal. There was talk of a deal that was made, or there was talk of one, but I'm not sure if that happened. But that would explain why they boot scoop boogie him out of there. Probably even for his own health too. I remember the voice burst video comment, but not sure it was that much time. I don't know, man. I'm telling you, Kelt, I could have swore I seen videos out there of police or somebody was saying that there was a lot more recording of audio, but there was only so much video because they were led to believe that the girls put the phone in their pocket, or possibly the killer put it in his pocket. So it continued to record, but not video. It continued to record audio. And the police did say, Mr. Carter and numerous of them, that there was other voices on that tape other than Abby and Libby's. So now whether them voices were way in the distance of people actually on the bridge and trail, which if it's a newer phone like she had, the recording might have been very good. Then it was picking up people actually walking on the tracks at the time, or on the trails, people in the distance. But we'll have to see. Now they're saying there's only 2 minutes of video. I'm not sure. Could be. Whatever it was, these people that were claiming there was only 49 seconds of video, I was like, then why did they say there was a whole bunch of more video or recording, but they didn't release it? Yep, pocket. Remember that. But how long? Not sure. I could even record in 40 minutes. It could have, Cal. All I know is I've been watching everything on that from the day it happened down here. Excuse me. And I could have swore I seen video out there that they did say, yes, there's more video, or there was more video than 49 seconds. And there was a lot more recording. But because it was horrifying, supposedly, that's what they said, respect of the families and the girls, that they did not release that. And they also said, and then where it was asked by media, was there just Abby and Libby's and the killer's voice? And I could have swore the police said no. There was Abby Libby's and numerous voices on the recording, on that recording that we're not hearing. And the thing with Kolhburger, I think the chips are stacked too high. He's got to play. He's going to have to play that game. If it's him and they come out and say they got him, it is him. He was stalking the girls, or he was getting ready to do a kill. I don't even think this was his first kill. Very, very. If it was for somebody. It was either for somebody or for some reason he chose them people. Instead of taking out the two people that he had a beef with, or even the one, and getting out of there, he ended up killing both of them. Here's what my theory is. He went in to do a job on one person. He did that job and didn't realize that there was other people. Them people seen him. That's what you're hearing in the recording of the neighbor's ringtone of a big disturbance and people yelling or whatever, if that's real. And he had to take out the other ones. And he left. Very possible. Went in to do one person, but didn't know the other people would be there. And on his way out, he was seen. He ended it. He had to take care of everything before he left that house. He possibly had no idea that anybody was downstairs. Nor did he kill, or nor did he care. Possibly he finished his psycho madness and left. And you know what? Even if somebody shuts a phone off, the technology today, True Crime Web is right. I think people's brains will be shocked when they find out the technology today that they can turn all your phones out, even when it's shut off. So I think everything will come together in court. And it probably won't go to court. If it does go to court, then we're going to see one heck of a court thing. Should they tear the house down? I probably wouldn't. Let's get the thing into court. First thing, bring the jury there to let them see the house inside. Do all your sound tests, all your positioning. Show the jury, get them out of there, tear the house down, and let's get the case going. Right? Is the jury ready? Do they have a jury picked? ATS News, Kel? Johnny, do you think he was worn out and that is why he didn't kill the other girls? Or maybe he didn't see them or see her? I don't think he really cared. I think he went in to do something. Somebody pissed him off. He didn't like somebody. The only thing I can think of is either he got paid by somebody or he didn't. He had a bad love or something. Somebody pissed him off. Whether it be jealousy, whether it be drugs, you don't know. They could have been drinking at a bar one day and they were making fun of him. Right? They could have been making fun of him. And he snapped. There's a Kel, I'm going to be honest. If I'm wrong, then tell me I'm wrong. There's a million things that he could have killed these people for. Just maybe he was a psycho like we think. And I think he's killed before. I bet you some of them cases around there in that area that were committed with knives or possibly gun might be connected to him. I hope they do their job and run everything. Here's the thing: he might have never been arrested. So therefore, when they ran all their checks, they didn't have nobody to compare it with. They didn't have DNA. Now that they have DNA, they might have to run it through all kinds of stuff. People try and link him to the military guy that the cops killed. Oh yeah, the military guy that he was friends with. You know, he could have had help. Who knows? Who knows? Always, I have an iPhone 7. I can charge it and then test how long it would record. Yeah, I think that I think you can record as long as you want, depending on your phone. I mean, it's like a computer. I can imagine you could do hour-long videos on a phone. You're using another server's thing. You might be using an app, and it might only let you record for so long, and then it ends the recording on that app. But actually, your phone is still recording. Idaho guy didn't have DNA in the system. They use genealogy. Well, you know what? Didn't he work, or didn't he know a lot of police or do work? That's what he was going to school for. Is it possible that maybe he? I'm going to keep my mouth shut on it. I think they the only thing I can think of is they want to tear the house down, get it over and done with. If I don't know if the courts could step in and say no, and if they don't, then the only thing I can think is state is ready for court and they have the evidence and plenty of it, and they don't need the house. They videotaped it, went over it, photoed it with a fine-tooth comb, and they'll show it in the courtroom and present their case that way. Does anyone know if they have the jury ready yet or picked? Why do you care about the stupid house? No, I don't. The only reason I care about the house, Psychobabble, is because uh, the jurors might want to go through it and see for themselves. But the sound will be different. Not a lot of people are talking about sound. They want to go in. They want to hear what this house sounds like. Well, you're not going to hear what the house sounds like the night of the murders because the house was full of furniture, clothes, and things. So you're not going to get the same sound. What you're going to get is a lot of acoustics. You're not going to be able, once they moved everything out of there, you're not going to get the same sound as that night. The room is bare. It's got wood floors. You're going to hear a lot of acoustics in there. Reverb. Psychobabble, join the conversation. No, I'm not a realtor. I should have been, but I'm not. Excuse me. No, just somebody that's watched a lot of cases. Do I think they should tear the house down? The only thing I would say is show me the proof that you got them 100% dead nuts. Then tear the house down. We don't need it. And the other option is the state of Idaho, get your jury ready and get them in that house. and do your stuff. And then let's get this case going. Tear it down. And I don't blame people for wanting it tore down. A gruesome place. What, you just can't. If there are ghosts, they're there, right? Very bad place. That's like Delphi. Very bad place now. Right? It was beautiful, folks. It had running water, animals, deers. Beautiful place. But now it's succumbed to a gory thing. Tainted. Right? And now people are going out there, ghost hunters and stuff, so they can hear Abby and Libby. I mean, it's just horrible. It's unreal. And here the Bible says not to speak to spirits or anything, but yet we got all these people opening portholes to very bad things. Right? Hate you? Oh, wait, let me see. Let me move my point. Have you been to the Delphi location? Heck no. You want the truth? I never even heard of Delphi Bridge or Delphi until the night of the murders, and it was on the news. A search for a girl in Delphi. There was other news out there about girls coming up missing and kids found in the woods out down there down south. Me personally, no. Now I remember Abby and Libby for the smiles on their faces and the photos that they showed of them softball and them having fun, but nah, I wouldn't go out there. Nah. Then I'm not gonna lie, it does look like a beautiful place. But like I said, now something traumatic has happened there, and people every time they go there, that'll be in the back of their heads. Oh my God, 2 young girls, and possibly more. I would be combing that whole area. Johnny only vacation is South Bend. No, are you kidding me? South Bend, they're saying, is just as worse. I think everything's going good in the Delphi case. Do I think they're trying to kill people from in prison? Probably. If it's this club, Odin Biker Club or whatever. And now people are saying it's a club. It ain't no witches and demons. I mean, there could be witches and demons. The Bible speaks of it, but it's adding up to everything these guys were talking about on social media. They gave themselves up in the Delphi cave. They gave themselves up. That's all I can say with all the chatter that they were talking. It's no wonder they were questioned in the case. Chadwell, Klein, Richard Allen. It might have been the club they were talking about. People didn't want to hear that. They wanted to go into this law crap, data, and all this crap. Like we've been on the case from the beginning. Well, then you would have known from the beginning, even before the Delphi murders, that there was a pedo club psycho ring running around down there, and there was 40 women and kids or whatever that were missing or dead out there. And then all right, go do your law. I don't know your law talk and all that crap. Go do that. We'll put the dots together the old-fashioned way. And that's the problem. Technology is good, but it's gotten so good that it takes now time. And people ain't just connecting the dots. That it was just, and then they say Richard Allen. All right, show me a little bit more proof. Come to me and say we got DNA, we got this, we got that, we got. It was him, possibly others. Go with it, baby. Let's get this case going. This drove all of Indiana completely mad. right? It could be millions of things, folks. I'm just being honest. People are, no way, that's impossible. Well, there ain't nothing impossible when it comes to a bunch of idiots. People have posted pictures of a man in the Delphi area. Sure enough, they have rune tattoos. I would have believed it if it haven't seen it. Nope, I'm not saying it ain't real. But this whole Odin thing, people are now coming around saying that it's a club in prison and out of prison. MC, right? Which probably do, very well possible, worship this Odin crap. But yeah, I'm not saying it ain't real. I'm just saying something fishy in that case. And we're all on DEFCON 3 around here. I mean, like we're all calling the government, the police. What rights do we have? These people are nut jobs. Can we protect ourselves in our homes? Can we, you know, what do we do? This giant group. And be self-assured if you're at home, somebody tries to attack you, you do have the right to protect your stuff and your property. People keep saying Odin's sacrifice. That's not what the Frank said. Nah, Frank said it wasn't kolhburger. Frank says a lot of things. That's Frank's thing. Like I said, I've been on Delphi for a while. I got attacked by these podcasters or videos made or whatever. Right? I didn't buy their story. I still ain't buying their story today. Right? Greeno's from Delphi. And everyone's like, we looked up his history. He's not from Delphi. He's from, but people believe it. Now, if you came to me as a person and said, what do you think? It's power suggestion. It's exactly what Charlie Manson used and so many other cult leaders or Satan worshippers, whatever. Power of suggestion. They can believe him if they want, right? If people want to believe Frank is right, then Frank's right. Nothing I can do about it. But I think this case is going the way it is because the data showed it, and there was evidence of a club or whatever. You had social media people talking about it, that they belonged to it, and the other one said they belonged to it, initiated into it, whatever. You got evidence that just was way before Delphi of madness down there, and people wanted to pull of it. They know what they're talking. Hey, it's data and then right. Go right ahead, folks. I think we're on the right track. We'll stick with what we know. Right? They're saying they have evidence in the Delphi case of Richard. Give me a little bit more closer footage, and and I'll say it's 100% Richard on the bridge. Now, if he was caught with anything at his house of the girls, well, then we got our man. And it's time for Richard to play a game. And that's called spill your guts. And they'll take the death penalty off of it. Right? Which I think we will probably, it's somewhere in this court case. I think we're going to see that. Where he's going to play ball. And I think kolhburger's going to do. I can tell you this much. If it wasn't Richard Allen, who didn't play a part in this, and possibly was one of the people that was using the other 4 or 5 authorizations that Klein gave them other people to use. Same thing with the kolhburger case. All evidence points to him. Data points to him. His history of what he looked up on computers, the Reddit thing of him talking. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wouldn't doubt it if he's killed before, and I would start. Why did he? Why did he make a beeline and head all the way down towards? He came in through. He took a straight shot. He could have went 80, 90, right through, right through Indiana, right to Pennsylvania. The routes that he took, even after uh, he thought he was in the clear. The whole thing when they bust down the door and they grab him, what's the first thing out of his mouth, supposedly? Did you arrest anyone else in this case? I think they're onto the right thing. Oh, not Frank the YouTuber. Well, he could be right. He could be right too. People could think he's right if they want to think he's right. The YouTuber Frank. Oh, the Frank's report. 7 years of bumbling cops holding press conferences to not answer questions. And I have the answer to that because it's an ongoing case. That's why, and that's why they said that they were only going to release so much because it was an ongoing case. Right? The sketches match what people were saying when this case first came out. Mike Patty was bridge guy. That's what everybody was saying. That's Mike Patty. It very well could have been Mike, but he could have been out there searching. And the video that they were recording might have been someone found the phone and recorded him searching because the sketches added up to people around them of searchers that were there. Delphi is a very crazy case, right? But the lack of info and then straight up ask people to help, it's led to these chaoses. Yeah. And they did ask for people's help. Uh, and the only reason I do believe is because they had no record of anybody, probably. The only trail they had was probably data from the account that was being used when they first caught Klein. And I bet you Klein talked. I imagine that's why they dropped a lot of charges. Took a lot of things off the table, possibly, was because maybe Klein was suckered himself. Maybe somebody tried to set Klein up and found the opportunity, took it, thinking that uh, all evidence would point to Keegan Klein as the original person that opened the account, which makes a lot of sense. Right? That's all I can pretty much say on that. Because my head is spinning, Kelp, just like everybody else's in this case. But I've been going through it for like 6 years on this case, maybe a little longer than that. I've done my own experiments on the Delphi case with clothes. The big talk in the beginning of this case was, were the clothes wet? If they crossed the river, would the clothes still be wet at 11 o'clock in the afternoon when they were found? Or 10 o'clock, depending on what time zone you're in. Down there south is a different time than up here. So we had the same temperatures a couple years later as the Delphi night. It was high 40, 50 degree during the day. Snow melted, but we also had snow that melted. It like snowed, and then it got warm. And then it snowed, and we had the perfect conditions, a repeat of 2017, which you can look at the weather patterns. And I wetted a whole bunch of clothes and put it out there in the outside from 1:30 in the afternoon until 10 o'clock the next morning. And when I checked the clothes, they were still wet. And some of the clothes had a little bit of like ice on it, a little bit stiff, right? Because it did get real cold that night. It got cold up here. It was beautiful during the day, but the temp, once the sun went down, the temps dropped big time and the wind picked up and it was cold. Matter of fact, looking at some of them crime scene photos of the shore where the shoes were, looks like there was ice. Now, I could be wrong, but Johnny left his soiled undies outside overnight. No, I didn't. I used a pair of jeans, a sock, and a shoe. Old pair of jeans I had, a sock, and a shoe, which that also was on YouTube, on the Delphi. And yes, they were still wet the next morning, or at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the afternoon. They were still wet. So, but we really don't know if the clothes were wet or not because we can't believe YouTubers anymore. I haven't seen the crime scene photos or the actual reports of them saying the clothes were wet. There's a good chance the girls never even. There's a good chance it didn't go down the way these people think it went down. No, don't worry about it, Kelt. He's a troll. Oh, you are playing around. Okay, I understand. Johnny left his soil unopened. Nah, he's just a joke. He likes to joke around. No, I think we're ahead of these people in YouTube, and we are supporting what's going on. Uh, one at a time, folks. One at a time. And you know what? If these guys had nothing to do with the murders, at least we know for sure that everything that government and the FBI and the police were saying, that is some sicko clubs and gangs and madness, drugs, prostitute, all kinds of stuff, is true, folks, because at least they got two people off of the streets and probably many more. We got to see how many people these guys were sharing photos with, whatever it may be. At least they got some real sickos off of the streets. And I'm happy for that. And I want to thank God for at least that. I know a lot of people will be pissed for me saying that, but thank God for that. If they came to me and said these guys were the ones lured them, they were sharing photos, but they didn't do the murders. Well, okay. Well, in America, it's against the law, a felony, to be sharing a naked kitty or talking to a 12, 13-year-old wanting to have sex with him or whatever. And he knew the girls were underage. It wasn't like they were hiding it. It wasn't like some of these people that get fake accounts. You think it's an adult and it's some kid, right? You have no idea who you're talking to. Keegan Kline knew exactly how old them girls were. I wouldn't doubt if he knew them before he was Anthony Shots. And people give me so much crap. Nah, he has nothing to do. He wasn't the killer. No, he wasn't the killer. We don't know that. He could have paid somebody. He could have told them, whoever else was using the account, jigs up, get rid of them. We don't know. I'm going to be honest with you folks. I'm not Inspector Gadget. I don't have the proof in front of me. I can connect dots, but I got a disability. I'm dumb, but I ain't that dumb when the evidence is right there in front of your face that they were luring young girls and photos and sickos. That's good enough for me. They might not have done the murders, but they knew about it. And they were trying to get photos and possibly sleeping with these young girls. And we're throwing Chadwell in there too. I don't know how much more evidence these people need. And you got this guy on there on social media telling people he belongs to some club. And we would never do that to kids. But yet, the police knock on his door looking for a 9-year-old, 10-year-old girl, or however old she was. And they find her in the basement, locked up in a room with a mattress on the floor, naked. Bite marks on her and everything. People, oh, well, he wasn't there at the murders. It could have been. There was more than just Abby and Libby out there. And, well, that day they got somebody. Ask ATS News if she accidentally blocked me. No, Kelt, I see you. I wouldn't block any. I haven't blocked anybody on this channel. I blocked people up, but they were trolls. I don't lock up people that ask civilized questions. I should lock up Psychobabble, but my views are running low, so I'm using them actually as a counted member, even though he does nothing but bust people's cojones. And once again, my condolences to the family, but this case, people are making a swing around, folks. And they're looking at the family members now, that something fishy was going on. And how did this happen? How did that happen? And, well, that happens in a case. They always look at the family, friends. First thing. There's little Miss Debbie. Glad you're safe, little Miss Debbie. It's getting cold here, kind of foggy and drizzling. Poor little girl. Man, I hope her family is getting her top quality counseling. Yes. Thank God they found him. I did a video thanking them police. Thanking them police. If it wasn't for them police doing old-fashioned crime and knocking on people's doors, it would have been too late, Kel. I think he already had plans. He was talking on social media about some club and like they can all have sex with this young girl and train her how to have sex and make money off of her. And people that belong to the club could have sex for her for free. Yeah. Counseling? God, they should give that little girl the key of the city. I'm sorry, Cult. I'm just telling you the facts in the story of Chadwell. My apologies. Didn't mean to get so graphic. Was that too graphic, Mrs. ATS News? She would know. She's a 23-time award-winning YouTube channel. Mrs. ATS News, was that too much? Did I overstep my boundaries? I have that problem, but these guys want to come in with their computers and their brains and their law talk and brains. If it was not for old-fashioned door-to-door knocking, looking for a missing girl, they would have never found her. And God bless them officers. That did automatically kick into old-fashioned knocking on doors to check. They should have gave them the key to they should have at least bought them a coffee and a donut. Thank God I have headphones on. I'm sorry. Am I too loud? Am I too loud? Somebody talk to me. Can I get some mods to talk to me? Somebody? Wow, sick. So it was too much. ATS News. Debbie, was I too graphic? Somebody talk to me. Goose had Top Gun, right? Right? Pink Panther had Kato. No. You are okay, Johnny. I hope I am. The whole world came down on me. All these podcasters. I've been blacklisted, which they haven't done since the 50s. Yeah. Blacklisted. but I still go on. Mrs. Debbie, I hope your day went good and your travels were good. Mrs. ATS News, I hope you're having a great day. Mrs. Kelt, I hope you're doing pretty good and everything is going good. But let me see what Psycho Babel says. There is no place in true crime for graphic descriptions, Johnny. Well, I'm just describing it. These people showed it. These people had the murder scenes. These people had evidence of what the crime scene was, and then they based their whole channels off of it before any of us knew anything. I'm very upset that justice works this way. And this is why sometimes people can't get a fair trial in America. I think it was wrong that photos were leaked in the first place because we were led to believe that only the killers would have known. I think the police played it beautifully because the police said only the killers would have known. And then all this evidence came out, and the police were like, "Nah, we got a big leak." Or these people were suspects in the first place. That's why they were questioned. And I would have to say, great work on that. I help my friend's channel, but I just can't help with the C-scan cases. It hurts too much. This stuff is madness. I ain't never wrapped myself around so much madness. And I'm from a bad part of the city, outskirts of the city. This madness. Almost demonic. I'm starting to believe some of these podcasters that are saying there's a lot of witchery going on, or effery, or whatever they call it, or something in the Delphi case, possibly. Time to go to the grocery store. Bye, everyone. Kelp, thank you for coming in. You're always welcome here. You're not blocked here. Nobody blocked it. We don't block too many people unless they come in really causing trouble or anything. Are we supposed to release people out of lockup like every 6 months, or second chance or anything like that, Debbie, or ATS News? I mean, do you think that's why I'm getting attacked all the time, is because I probably got 50 people locked up? Get some more. Okay, please. What? Does anybody have any opinions? Am I way off the track? But if you go back and look, I had to get rid of a whole bunch of videos. I hope I didn't get rid of the Delphi stuff that I was doing from years and years ago. I do have a couple playlists of a lot of Delphi stuff is in the Delphi section, but when I first started doing the crime stuff, I had it Gabby Petito case. I thought I had a playlist on that, but it might have been just crime cases on YouTube. I'm no professional. I just see that these people get big views, and I voice my opinion on it. I don't use other people's content. If I do, I give them a shout out on my video, but I don't. I probably should be like one of these professional dudes that have everything brought up and go through everything and read everything, but I just watch what these people show us, the evidence, or the evidence that the state shows, and then you try connecting the dots. I'm no professional, and I said that the first day I started crime. I don't know too much, but I do a lot of research on death, cadavers, how long it takes for a body to decompose in certain temperatures and water, drowning, stuff like that. Because you research, because you don't want to go into a chat being a complete idiot. Right? Zodiac Killer. Watched a lot of that. Watched a lot of the other crimes that were going on. Dahmer stuff. And preparing, studying, and my honest opinion on it, uh, it will it will turn you into an idiot, and that's why I don't even look up anything. I just YouTube channel says this is what the state just put out, the documentation, and then I make my thing on. Get you some cilantro. Oh, Psychobabble wants Celt to get some cilantro. Celt is Celt. It's nuts out there. Be careful. Yes, be careful. The world's crazy. So I'm asking my mods because these are reasonable people. If I'm too graphic in a video, then hopefully someone will say, "Well, that's too graphic. Maybe you should tone it down a little bit." And 9 out of 10 times I listen to people because I don't want to be an outcast. These people, some of these people want to be a part of something good to try and help. So you change, you adapt, you overcome, like a military black ops person, a Green Beret, a Navy SEAL, or whatever. I shouldn't even be thinking that way, but I wasn't raised with military within around me, with family or whatever, I probably wouldn't be the way I am today. Or maybe they didn't do a good enough job in what's the word I'm looking for? Whooping my butt. But I think they did a pretty good job with what they had and the money they had. I'm alive, I think. Unless somebody brought me back from the dead and all this voodoo witchery stuff is real. Sorcery. I'm making a roast in a crock pot. Good. Good, Psychobabble. Hope it turns out good. Tomato sauce. But have no cilantro. It'll be good without cilantro. Did you use oregano? What about thyme? Overcome and adapt. You know that. You ain't got cilantro. Overcome and adapt. Do something else. Yes, it does sound good. A roast in a crock pot cooked for like 7 hours. It just falls apart. The potatoes are just like, oh my God. I love cooking in my crock pot. I love it. No, I don't know. I'm looking into a lot of other things of what's on YouTube and science and spirit stuff. Is this real? Could we be used as some kind of a vessel, and these other people are some kind of a spirit or whatever, and they're going through us or whatever? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that what I don't even want to get into because if you deep dive into it, it gets crazy. It's going to take time, a whole lot of precious time to do it right. I understand. A good 5 6 hours that roast should just be falling apart. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I see my chat is not too talkative. They really don't care about any cases today, and I don't blame it. It's the Lord's Day. It's the Lord's Day. Debbie's laughing her little butt off. I have no idea. Oh, probably Psychobabble. It's going to take time. Yes, time. Put some time in it. Or oregano. Are you making potatoes and carrots? He said he'd roast with tomato sauce, whatever that is. But I've been blacklisted from Art of Deduction's channel, which I should be getting a plaque for that. But blacklisted is not a good thing. We have seen these secret organizations, and a lot of people use this blacklist when you don't go along with their program. Movie, music, yada, 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 secret societies, whatever. So if I'm scared out of my boots or worried about being blacklisted from Frank's, I'm not too worried about it. Just said, I think I was blacklisted the day I was born. I think I'll be all right. Not being able to go into Frank's chat. I think I'll survive. I think so. But like I said, some of these people involved in some of the stuff that's going on, they've got caught. And they're going to have to play that game now. Right? Give us this. Or cop to this plea. And they'll work with them. Because the law is law. And that one guy did get it right on that video he did with Chris Todd and Rick Snay and Mark Sullivan or whatever his name was, right? When the PI got on there and said, well, you guys do know it is a felony to even possess the photos that you guys are actually looking at. They didn't want to hear that. They didn't want to hear it. I think it was a race to the starting line or to the finish line, because I think the government was hot on these people, and they finally found out that they were breaking laws. And then they just started ratting on each other, right? Well, I got the photos from him. No, wait a minute. We got the photos from you. We got the photos from him. We got the photos. And now it's just they're running around with a chicken, or what is that, head cut off like a chicken or whatever. It's just unbelievable. All right, I am going to end this video. I cook me some victuals myself and relax. Getting chilly out, and we are starting to get a mist of sleet. Temps dropping, so I hope you folks have a great night. God bless. Be safe. And here comes John, scoping out everything, making sure everything's going on good. Nope, he's limping. He's not having a good day today. Hope you're all right, dude. All right. Now, you folks have a great day. Thank everybody for stopping in. The mods, ATS News, Debbie Fox. Ladies, if you ever feel under pressure here, or do not like my opinions or anything I say, and you don't feel like you want to be a mod no more or be a part of this channel, just say something, and I will gladly take your wrench. And you're free to watch whoever you want on this channel, and free to go wherever. I don't control people. And wait a minute, breaking news. Bridge guy walked down the bridge smoking a cigar. And back to what I was saying. You folks, the dudes, the ladies, you can go whatever. You can say whatever on other channels about anything, even me. I'm not a controlling person, folks. I've been controlled my whole life. I wish it on no man to go through any of that. So have a great night. Get ready for Christmas. That's coming. Oh boy, it just lit up out there, didn't it? Yowza. Must have been a flicker. You have a good night. Be safe. God bless. Talk to you folks later. Is anyone going live tonight? Debbie, Psychobabble, Mrs. ATS News? Anybody? Nobody going live tonight? What is this, Sunday night? Nobody? All right. God bless all you folks. Have a good night. Be safe. And that's my thoughts and theories on the Delphi case, Idaho case. And it's time to play ball. Right? Let's get this show on the road and get these cases over. You know, we could be spending our resources on other cases. But here's the thing. There's so many murders going on. We got to take our time and make sure that these people weren't psycho serial killers and traveled all over the country or the towns, moving, killing people. God bless you all. Have a good night. Be safe.